Giving all in every fight that I walk out into, I never shied away from any fight that anybody I was offered, But I just know it's got to come to the end of the road. The lads have supported me 100% all the way, They still think I have a lot of fight left in me, but to me personally, I put a dot at the end of the sentence, and it's time to move on to something else.
When you left the octagon, Bruce Buffer made a point to come and greet you. What did he say to you there?
He said he didn't know that was my last performance, He didn't know I was retiring. He wished me all the best, It's fantastic when you've got people of his caliber coming up to you and doing that, It goes the statement that I made in the UFC, I'm only 7 fights in the UFC, but every time I went out there, I gave it everything I've got, and fans appreciate that.
What's been the favourite moment, Neil? Obviously Dublin, we look back at that incredible night when all the Irish guys won. You got the victory there. Is that the moment that stands out for you?
There's so many moments, the 2 nights in Dublin, the Chris Bale fight was really big for me because he was 10-0 walking, he was coming down from flyweight, he was one to watch, and I took him out of there, and surprised a lot of people. But I've enjoyed every bit. I said it numerous of times. I've enjoyed every single step of this journey. When I hit the UFC, um, it's just been fantastic. The whole lot of it.
What do you do now post-fight career?
Um, I just said there, I truly believe that every fighter has the biggest fight of their career coming up. The biggest fight ever is the retiring part. Is getting ready for that. A lot of people tend to go out from the highest onto another organisation to try and make a few quid, and it always seems to end flat in their face in hospital and in very bad situations. And that's why I'm stepping out now. I didn't want to go downhill after making it to the top. So I believe that I've got a massive fight ahead of me now. As in, how do I fill that void? A lot of people don't ask these questions when you need to stand up and go to fighters after their careers and try teach the people that's on the way up. We're not all going to drive Rolls Royces and Ferraris and whatever else. We don't always end up with all this stuff. People have mental thoughts come into this. So I think a lot of young fighters need to actually go to the fighters that after doing it in return and take a lot of advice from what to do after it.
What's I suppose the one big change you perhaps would like to see in the sport, in the UFC? Talk to maybe an association or a union, or perhaps something the UFC could do, maybe a pension for some fighters. Is there one thing that you'd like to see happen for the next generation of fighters coming through?
It's hard, I think the union thing is hard because obviously in Dublin, if anybody ever said to you about fucking unions, they rob you left, right, and centre and do nothing for you. Nobody's twisting their arms to get in here. Nobody's saying you need to fight, blah blah blah. Nobody is doing that. You're given a contract. If you sign the contract, go and fight. Um, of what moving forward, the UFC have treated me with everything. I don't have anything to complain about. You know what I mean? But I just think fighters just need to, for their own thoughts, is to not just jump in and spend everything to get. You know what I mean? It's a short window. It's not like a footballer's career when they sign for five years and they get making a lot of money. We don't have that. It's fight by fight. You know what I mean? And that's just the way it is. Unfortunately.
What is the void, Neil? What are you going to do? I know you've a new kid on the way.
Yeah.
That's obviously going to take a bit of time and then a few nappies and things like that.
Sure is.
What is the plan? Are you going to stay in the gym with Andy? Are you going to do some coaching?
Do you know what? I don't know yet. I haven't made up my mind. I said there's not. Is there a lot of options out there? You know what I mean? I've got a full-time job. As you say, I've got another kid in the way. I have 5 kids. I'm just gonna have to find something to do. I have a lot of fishing rods, so I'd be riverside. But I just don't know, and that's what scares me. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's what scares me. When you think it's all over and it's done and you're not gonna fight again, it's very frightening. It is frightening but what's next? We're losing the drive here. There's a drive to step into the octagon, and people just don't understand. If we had a won there and walked out, I'm still gonna be really mentally down just because I won. That buzz is gone. You know what I mean? That if we won there and walked back into the gym on the Monday, things still won't be the same. You know what I mean? And people have to understand that a fighter hits the rock bottom. We build ourselves up here. Even if we lose or win, we'll always hit that bottom again. And it's time to build yourself up. So I just don't know at the minute what I'm gonna do. Come back to me probably in 6 months and stuff, and maybe you should. Just saying to reporters, maybe you should make this phone call to fighters that you've always interviewed and ask them how they're feeling, how are they doing financially, how are they doing mentally. because every other sport has it. Why can't they do it in MMA? You know what I mean?
Do you have a message for the fans? Do you have a message for anyone that's followed your career or supported you through your career?
So look at the reception I got out there. I actually thought it was home in Dublin. It was fantastic out there. Even when I was leaving the octagon, the fans have been amazing to me anywhere I went in the world. They've been fantastic. I'd like to thank every single one of them. Bought me heart. It's been fantastic ride, but it's just have to come to an end. Thank you.
When you talk about these young up and coming fighters, when they look back on Neil Seery's career, what would you want them to take from it?
You know, probably just the way that I conducted myself. You know, I believe that I conducted myself right in the way I went. You know, I never turned down fights. I never went out. I won 50 grand in Dublin. I never went and splashed it and bought this, that, and the other, thinking that it's gonna come the next day. You know, that's what I'm saying to people. This money will come and it'll go and it'll quick. Everybody's just spend at the start of their career. Comes to the end and they genuinely have fuck all. You know what I mean? They've nothing to show for what they have, bar cuts in their faces and broken noses. But you know, there always has to be a plan B. You know, that's what I'd like to say to them. You know.
Neil, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much, Neil.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Neil. Thank you very much.